in this time, in this present stage. So I want to know what we all do. I would like to know in the comment section if you can just please share with me what we do. I want to know those who are business people, those who are employees, those who are entrepreneurs. Please, can you just share with me in the comment section, please? So it gives me a direction on how to take us on this journey this evening. Happy Democracy Day to everybody. I trust we've been indoor all day watching how Nigeria is going. We trust and we believe that Nigeria will get better. With great minds like you and I, we believe that Nigeria will get better. So please can you get, okay, I'm a professional chef. Adenike Astrop is saying she's a professional chef. All right. Kaide Esther Abiola, I can't hear from you. Mimi, I can't hear from you. Moderator, I can also not hear from you. She's just like, I'm a publisher and I'm running a printing business. All right, great. Who else is there? Ambassador Adebayo. Just share. We just want to know what you do. You don't know who is here right now that's going to patronize your business. So just share with us. Okay. Well, since a whole lot of people are not willing to share what they do with us, we'll start, and we trust that it's going to be a quantum leap. It's going to be a fantastic delivery from my hand. And I believe after this class, this is not a Christian gathering, but I believe after this class, we would have an exceptional thinking and exceptional thoughts as regards to why branding is essential in today's world. Okay, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a fashion designer. Okay, great. So when we talk about branding, these days a whole lot of people, I would like to share my screen at this point so that we can follow through. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, please can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We can, sir.
Yeah. All right. So critical thinking for promoting your brand. Critical thinking for promoting your brand. When you hear the word critical thinking, it takes you to the point where you are saying, what do I need necessarily for promoting my brand? And it's essential that we take it from the basics. When we talk about branding, branding is very vast, and branding has a whole lot to do. And I think I joined the last class where one of our facilitators was talking about. Please let me just check my notes because I had to jot some things down from that class so as to be a connector between all our classes and not to be an intermediary. So in in Busayo's class, he was talking about from a seed to a forest. And when you talk about from a seed to a forest, it passes through a line, and you now go to vision building and sharing. And vision building and sharing was the class I joined, which was interesting for me. So you have a picture about, you close your eyes. Some people close their eyes, and you have a picture about your brand. You have a picture of what you want. You have a picture of how you want to be what you want to be. But in the place of branding, it takes you to the place where you are saying, I can't do this thing if there are some things not put in place. In today's world, people think branding is logo, branding is your color, branding is, yes, those things are part of branding. They are the elements, like one of my colleagues and one of my boss will also, they are elements that help you in communicating what you want to deliver. But note that logo, what's it called, logo, color, all those things are not branding as it is. So you want to start a brand, the first thing you do is you go and meet your designer. Come and quickly let me design this color. You don't even have the content. So you are a a container that doesn't have a content, and branding is the two together. You have to be a container, you have to be a content, and you join the two together. That's where we can see you and we can propel that you have something to say. So what is branding? What is branding? Um, sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. Now, as regards to me, I term branding as the process of creating a strong eternal perception about an individual, organization, or product in the mind of people who are your clients, your customers. So branding is the process of creating a strong eternal perception about an individual, organization, or product in the mind of people. Now, if you look at yourself, do you know you are a brand? Do you know each and every one of us here, we are a brand? And we are we are a function of, sorry, who is that, please? Are we here? Someone was.
Yes, we are with you, sir. I don't
Right,
want
sir.
Okay.
to be corrected, sir.
Okay, great, thank you. And branding is an individual. So for instance, I come to this gathering now and I'm putting on maybe a tattered shirt, and they tell you that I'm the speaker. You can't want to listen to me because you are like, what does this guy have to tell me? So I might have the content, but I don't have the packaging, I don't have the structures that are supposed to be in place, then I have not completed. So the completion of your brand is who you are and what you have in your context that we now combine together. So if you look at it, it's an internal perception that people have about you. So even when you die, what do people say about you? What do people say about who was he? So what people say about you is branding, because people look at branding as I must wear a black shirt on a white. No, dressing is good. I acknowledge it, but that is not branding, because if people say, if I borrow this person so money, I can't get it back, they know that your brand is a brand that they know that is eternal doom. Now, if you look at my company where I work, Gami Properties, when people come to us, we are into real estate, and we're a company that we are intentional about excellence. We are intentional about customer satisfaction. We are intentional about making young people and people also live their dream in financial freedom. But we pay attention to the youth. Why? Because we're in a generation where we want to impact the youth. We're in a generation where we have concern for the youth. So when we look at the youth, are they living their dream in financial freedom? Well, it's a ball game for everybody to answer. But we are concerned from the point that we ensure that we follow through this. So it's not just about our designs are great. It's not just about that our designs are bringing what we want people to see. No, it's beyond that, and that is one thing that is so very, very, very important for us in our company here. So I'm trying to see my screen. So branding is the process of creating a strong eternal perception. So think it through right now. What is the perception people have about you as an individual? Now, I know a lot of people here are Redeem members. If you see Pastor Adeboye, we know what we tag him for. We tag him for holiness. But do you know he also has a brand? If you see in Redeem, who started Bowtie, who started wearing shorts, safari, it was this great man of God. He has helped himself. So if he puts on a long suit, it takes you time for you to process it in your mind that I want Baba Noma was suit lady, but naturally you understand and you see from the fact that anytime you say a bow tie, and he has created an eternal perception. How? Most pastors today in Redeem now wear a bow tie, they now wear a safari that is short, and that is the perception that he has created. So branding is when I mean strong, it is very strong, that it does not end even in death. So if people will talk about you good, if people will talk about you bad, it is about what you've given to your brand. And as an organization, for those who are employees here, for those who are CEOs, about your brand, when people bring clothes to you, do they get it on time? Do they get it at the right time when it's essential for them? Those are the things that are important. And so for another person to come and work with you, for another person to transact business, it depends and it is determined by how we perceive you. It takes me to the next place. Branding in the marketplace. Branding in the marketplace. So looking at the definition, I had to hit the nail on the head with that definition. And so if you look at the definition, with respect to the definition, Some elements such as logo, designs, brand color, mission statement, and consistent marketing communication allows your customer or prospect have you in mind. Now, don't forget that I said you have to have content. So if you start a company and you don't know how to deliver, now if you look at Garment Properties, we know what we are doing. We say we want to make young people live their dream in financial freedom. So imagine if we're telling people that want to make young people live their dream in financial freedom, and we are doing something else. We are now doing parties. Are we making young people live their dream in financial freedom? The answer is no. How do you make young people live their dream in financial freedom? We know our core. Our core is real estate. Okay, we want to sell landed properties at a seamless price to people. Now, let me give you an instance. From the time we started up until now, everybody that has bought our products are between the age of 21 to 35. 21 to 35. It might amaze you, where do these people get the money from? But that is where you now come to the place of branding. How do you pass your communication? How do you pass your logo? Is your logo just riff-raff? Is your logo just created in a way that you cannot even explain it? When you look at our logo, Garment Properties, I don't need to explain because of our time, but you understand that these people have structured themselves in a way, and all our products, if you look at the shirt I'm wearing, it's GVS, all our products carry the same. So it now comes to the place of communication. Your communication elements, are they inclined with what you are doing? Is your color unique to what you are doing? Imagine if you're doing an event, and you use blue here, you use orange here, you use white here, you use indigo, and you even have a content to deliver, people will not listen to you. So branding, as we call it, for some people that they look at, on my Instagram page today, I must use yellow here, so I will not use white here today, I will not use blue. No, it is not really about the colors. It is not about creating a logo. All those things are important, but know that they are like the last thing you need. So what are the first things you need? Your communication internally. Is it perfect? Is it what you need? Now, if you look at what I'm saying things about Garment Properties, we are concerned about customer satisfaction. So we had a challenge, I think about 2 days ago. Our website was having serious issues. Some people would just be like, oh, Tabati resolve one mama. Is that why you are in business? No, you're in business because you said that we want customer satisfaction. So a way to give customer satisfaction is by notifying all your customers. What did we do? Immediately, we took our designer, our creative department, they went to work. They had to put a nice, loving design that can deliver it to our customers, that please, we are having issues now. And on our own end, at the strategy and innovation department, we also had to go and ensure that we bring out a fine-tuned document that people will read and people will say, oh yes, truly. So we had to now coin the two together and send emails, send on our Instagram page, send on all our media handles. We send SMS. We're intentional about it. So intentionality comes in when you know that you are in the marketplace because you are in a competitive place. You are not the only one there. So if you are the only one there, you could relax. You could just be doing it your way. So branding is so essential that you have to put your all into it. You have to put everything that you desire about it. So when you now look at branding in the marketplace, are you doing it the way it's supposed to be done? For us, we are so concerned that when we did that, our customers are starting now, oh, it's not going to take time, it's not going to do this. But imagine if we just left it and we're not concerned. People would have just been going there and they're like, the website is not going again today. People. But we are intentional about it. So branding in the marketplace, it is important that you give your customers the best by looking out for your values and communicate it. It takes me to my next slide. What is the importance of branding? The importance of branding. If you're with me, please, I would just like you to say something in the comment section if you are with me. Ooh. Or you can unmute your mic and just share with us if you are here. You can mute your mic and share something. All right, great.
We are following, sir.
Okay, great. So
We are with you, sir.
okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The importance of branding. Branding is highly important to a business because it has a lasting effect. It makes branding change how people perceive your brand. It can drive new businesses and increase brand value. And know that it can also affect it wrongly. Please note it. The same way people are appreciating your brand and are like, oh, I want to do business with this, I want to do business with this. It is the same way people will talk down on you if you are not giving what you've promised. So it comes to the place where you deliver more than what you promise. Deliver more than what you promise. For the person that is a chef, you tell people that you bring their food or you'll be at their occasion for 2 p.m. Be there by 12. It is branding. So it is not about you had a logo where a chef was wearing a hat and the person was
Mom is
holding.
already
No,
connecting now.
sorry, sorry, please, who's that? Okay, so it
Go ahead,
is
sir.
all right. Thank you, sir. So deliver more than what you promise. Do not promise more and deliver less. It is problem. People will never come back to you. I read a book some time ago, How to Keep Customers and Retain Them for Life. One of the essential things to keeping customers and retaining them for life is branding. Branding, how do they perceive you? Do they perceive you as someone that has excellence? Do they perceive you as someone? And so be able to pin out your core values. These are the things that gives value to you personally and to your customers. So for your customers to value you, do you have your own core values, what you want to give to your people? That is part of branding, and it is very, very essential in branding. So if you look at Gami Properties, I've been saying it and I'll keep on saying it. Customer satisfaction, excellence, partnership, those are some things that we look out for, that we want to give at all times. So if we are doing less than this, is a problem for us. And we look at the problem that, oh, how do I tackle this issue? How do I navigate at this point? So if you are a business person here, whatever you are doing, I don't even know how you want to do business when excellence is not part of what you are doing. What is excellence? Doing the ordinary thing an extraordinary way. That is excellence. Excellence is doing the ordinary thing because you're in a market where everybody is it fashion design you are doing? You are not the only one. Is it civil engineering? You are not the only one. Is it publishing of books? You are not the only one. Is it professional? Is it being a chef? You are not the only one. Is it being a communicator? You are not the only one. So it is important that excellence is part of what you do. Excellence, it values you. So for your value to increase in the marketplace, you have to put out your core values. What are your core values? Go and pin them out. Importantly, pin them out. This is what I want to give. This, and understand that if you are doing anything outside of this box, it is a problem for you. But please understand that excellence is very, very important. This meeting was for 7 p.m. By 6:45, I was already set. By 6:55, I had put on my screen. I was waiting for us here. So it is very important. Those little things that you think are not important, they are very, very important to growth. And as a leader and one who is in this academy learning right now, understand it that if you want to be valuable in the marketplace, excellence is one of the key you should have. Number are we good?
Yes, we are.
All right, thank you very much. Number two,
Sorry, sir.
it generates. Okay, sir, thank you very much. It generates new customer. I think I've said this, but I will explain in a little. It generates new customer. So I believe that a lot of people were expecting that, oh, I'll come and be talking about brand colors here and all those things. No, those are the last things because it is easy and I will definitely eat on that. But I want to eat on this so that you can start doing what you've not been doing and get the result that you should get. So sometime in, I think about a month ago, we had a customer who had invested with us and he invested about 10 million naira, over 10 million naira. Let me keep his amount and his name for the online sake. And so he brought in the money and said he wanted to invest it. We have GVest, the shirt I'm wearing is the product, and that is the angle that is handling our investment portfolios. So he brought in the money and he said he wanted to do a year. And so we said, okay, no problem, sir. We'll definitely handle your money. Security wise, we're registered and we don't tarnish people's image. We don't want to even tarnish our own image because branding very essential. So we brought in the money and the money was there. It was already about a month plus. Then this man called us about, I think, last week, and he told us that his son is seriously sick right now and he needs that money for a major operation. So he didn't reach my table directly. He got to the table of one of my assistant managers, and the person was like, "No, the product manager said this money cannot go out. It's not going out. We're not going to release it at all." So long, I'm sharing a story that one of the assistant manager told me because they were having a deliberation. They didn't bring it to my table directly. So long to cut the long story short, they brought it to my table, and I was like, what if it was your own child that was sick right now and you had invested? So will you give out the money or not? I now told the person that I know that we have a rigid rule, but understand that for that person to come back and for that person to bring 10 million in an ash economy like this now, you need to release that money now. I told the person now, and I went to meet the CEO and the chief operating officer. Sir, we need to release this money for this. I gave explanations because I felt if it was me, if it was my child, well, I'm not giving birth, I will give birth one day. So if it was my child that was in that situation, will I, what's it called? Will I give out the money? And so immediately I just gave out that order and my boss agreed. Are we there? Are we there, please? I think I had
Yes,
network
sir.
issues.
Yes, we are with you,
All
sir.
right, I just gave out the money. I just sent the memo to CEO. CEO signed it immediately, and we took it direct to the account department, and they disbursed money. I tell you what happened. Less than a week, the man brought about 5 guys that brought money in for investment. So for you to generate new customers, you need to think beyond the box. That is branding. So imagine if we didn't give out that money, we held 10 million now. And this man, he gave us a word that any day, anytime, I will come back and buy land from you or invest with you. It is branding. It was not easy for us. The money was already, the money, should I tell you guys, the money had gone out for investment purposes. It was already out for investment purposes. But we know that we have that money in the company account. So what did I do? I had to just think. I sat down and I said, no, we have to give her this money. I went to my boss, and that's how we give her the money. So how do you generate new customers if you are not thinking outside of the box? So one important thing is we said we want to satisfy customers. Guys, it takes me back to my point, customer satisfaction. I'm talking about garment property here. We said customer satisfaction is key for us. So if we wanted to satisfy that customer, we had to satisfy his need at that time. We had to satisfy his need. So are you satisfying a customer if you are saying you can't give the money? So think it through. Think it through. Point number 3, it creates trust in the marketplace. Trust in the marketplace. This is where I'll now bring in those things that people have been thinking I'll talk about. Your media communication, your designs, your online presence. I'll talk about that I think in my next 2 slides, I'll talk about more of that. But these things are what creates trust in the marketplace. How do I know you if you are hidden? And that's why everywhere today, people see redeem here, people see redeem there. And I was sharing with a friend, once you see a circle and you see a bird, you know it is redeem. Yes or no? Once you see a circle and you see a bird, even if people are copying it, you know that they copied it from redeem because the concept has been given by redeem. And so these things are some things that you now have to put in the marketplace that makes people trust you. Things like designs, things like your communication. We posted something yesterday. Invest in the rainy day. No, invest so that you can. I can't remember. I can't remember but it was a very we're communicating in the season also. So those are some things that you now have to put in place, and I'll elaborate it. I don't want to share much about it because that is what is in my sixth slide, and I'll talk more about it. So for you to be trusted in the marketplace, you have to be excellent with your branding. You have to communicate your message effectively the way you want it to be communicated. And it takes me to number 4. It improves employee pride and satisfaction. So someone is, I'll use this person who is, what's it called? An inspirational speaker and an author. And I know Pastor Tunji also is a pastor. And so I would like to use this point. So for people to sit down in your church and listen to you speak, do you think it's all about your content? Well, outright no. It's not all about your content, even though your content is very important. But people also want to see your creative use. So I went for a conference, I think about 2 weeks back, and it was a ministers conference. And this senior mentor of mine and senior father in the Lord, Dr. Olumide Manuel, was talking about the potter and the clay. And they now started giving us pictorial mind about it. So he wanted to talk about the butterfly, the process of going, the story of a butterfly. You know, the first thing I said, but the shocking thing about it was you needed to see when the communication designs came out, how they narrated it. Till tomorrow, it is in my head. It is in my head. So if I see, for instance, Baba Deboye, till tomorrow, everybody knows he puts on a bow tie. Everybody knows he puts on a short safari. Now he already has content. So for him to satisfy his people and for people to replicate what he's doing today, that is where the branding now comes in. The branding that people tag as branding, your how you dress and all those things. And so if you're here, you need to understand importantly that how you dress is part of branding. The kind of perfume you use. So I work in an industry where sales is very essential. If you are not making sales, I don't know what you are doing. And imagine if I just dress like a fintech guy. We're in 2 different opposite, industries. The fintech guy can wear a round neck shirt, wear a jean, and wear sneakers and go to work. He doesn't pitch to anybody. Maybe when they just have to analyze something and all those kind of stuff. But me, I have to go to customers, I have to discuss. So imagine if I'm not using a perfume, imagine if I have body odor, imagine if I'm wearing a shoe that is not polished, imagine if my tie is not knotted. These are some essential things that now bring satisfaction to you and to your customers. So understand that these 4 I've shared are some of the important elements of branding. Some of the important elements of branding. And it takes me to my next slide. The digital effect. Yes, the digital effect of branding. The digital effect of branding. I would like to read something. I had to do a research and it was so profound for me. It was so profound for me. And the fact is that regardless of, okay, sorry, I'm taking the first one on my slide, which is seizing on an opportunity. Seizing on an opportunity. What is seizing on an opportunity? So the fact is that regardless of your digital standing, your customers are online. If you like it or not, your customers are online because everybody on this place has a phone. Everybody right now is using a phone. And we have over 1 billion people that have a mobile phone. So the fact is that regardless of your digital standing, your customers are online. In 2019 alone, there was an approximately 3.8 million Google search conducted each minute. 3.8 million Google search conducted each minute, many of which are carried out to find information on local businesses. So as you can see, guys, from, as you can see from this data, the internet can be a valuable tool for business. It provides an opportunity to broaden your reach and communicate with consumers on a global scale. Your website, social media, and other digital mediums give you a platform to both educate customers about your brand and highlight your unique features or values that simultaneously that inspire resonance. Online consumers can simultaneously learn about who you are as a company and engage with your brand on a personal level. Now, let me say this to business people. I believe everybody here understands that money is a very important tool in this Nigeria now. In Nigeria, to be precise. I'm talking to Nigerians because I know everybody here are Nigerians. But I know that there are some people who join from diaspora because I have some friends that are joining. But if you look at it, in Nigeria, you don't have a website, you don't have a social media page, you don't have any means of communicating on the outer world, but you have an office. How do you want to be able to use the effect of mouth to mouth if you don't have these things in place? Because in today's world, people believe there are a whole lot of scam, most especially startups. So for people who are fashion designers here, for people who are civil engineers, so for people who are authors, how are people buying your book safe? How do you want people to buy your book? How are you preaching your message if you don't have a media page? So you say you're not using Instagram, you say you're not using Facebook, you say you're not using YouTube, you say you're not using LinkedIn. What are you now using? What are you using to communicate? Understand that these are very essential tools in our today's world. Sorry?
Please continue.
Sorry. All right. So if you are looking at the digital effect, of branding today, one very key that is very important when we talk about branding is your media presence. And those are some things that give you opportunity. Those are some things that give you opportunity in the outside world today. So you can be a speaker and not have one speaking engagement in a whole year. What is the cost? It is the fact that you are not good with branding. It is the fact that you don't use and you don't communicate anything on the online space. Not even a content about vision that you've heard before. Not even posting what you heard that your pastor said. And you expect that someone will see you. You expect that someone will be able to transact business with you. It doesn't happen and it can never happen. So one very essential key in today's world, it is the effect of seizing opportunities by the use of your digital by the effect of the digital space. The digital space is very, very important. I remember when a client, okay, this same man that was sharing a story about 10 million, I think I knew him mouth to mouth, and they brought him to the office. The person who brought him to the office that day, and this man said the only reason why he would patronize us, even in this short term that we've been in business. When I mean short term, I'm not saying 1 year, I'm not saying 1 month, I'm not saying 2 months. He said in this short term that we've been in business, the only reason why he would patronize us is because we have an excellent media projection website. Go and check our website. The link is there, right? You can just log on to our website, www.gami.com.ng. Check how we've been able to communicate effectively. Go to our Instagram page. Check how we've been able to communicate effectively. Go to our LinkedIn page. Go to our Facebook. We are using these tools not because we just feel like, but because we understand the essence. So I'm speaking to someone here. If you cannot even on this Zoom, you are still using Oliver Shei, you are still using Stephen Idowu, KW, why can't you set up your page and look professional? That is where branding is very important. You are carrying your hair, you don't barb it for about, you say you're not going to barb it for 10 weeks, and you are saying you want someone to do business with you. How do they want to do business with you? Because you have not presented yourself in a way where they can use and exchange value with you, transactions. And so you cannot be valued in the world If you look at Pastor Tunji today, he has he has chosen some colors that are essential for him. I know Pastor Tunji with yellow, I know with blue, and he's using these things to communicate. How will I have known Young Leaders Academy? Sorry, someone's I'm hearing myself. Please kindly mute your mic.
Probably network, sir. Please kindly continue, sir. You start it, sir.
Oh wow. Okay, it's fine now. Thank you. So I know Pastor Tini to have some colors and YLA. Look at YLA. I was sharing something about YLA. YLA today has colors that are represented. Beyond the color, how did I know about YLA if not through the media space? If not through the media space, how would I have been an alumni of YLA today? But because of the media presence, because they understood that, oh, we need to pass out for people to come on board, for people to come and patronize and to be a part of what we are doing, we have to communicate on the media space. That is why the media space is there. So you are a Christian, don't look at the media space as, oh, the people in the Babylonian world have taken over it. So, no, the media space is very effectually important, most especially for business people. Even as a personal person, do you have a website? What is the importance? It is highly important. I remember in 2018, John Obidi was in a conference and he shared with us that it is important that everybody has, even if it is a what's it called, a website for whatever, I don't know the word, but Wix. Like I use Wix for instance now, and it was telling us that it is important that you even have where someone can easily go and check anything about you, where people can easily have access to information that you want them to know about you. So beyond your Facebook, beyond your Instagram, beyond all those amazing stuffs, because if those stuffs go out today, will I still be able to know what you do? Email marketing, these are very essential tools that we should use in our companies, in our individual lives. These are essential tools that we need to communicate to the outside world about. So the effect of your online presence is very and highly important. It is highly important. Now, building a stronger presence. How do you build a stronger presence? For my research, hmm, sorry guys, my laptop is sorry. All right, thank you. So for my research, Zendex, a survey by Zendex shows that 87% of customers said consistent branding across all online and traditional platforms was important. Remember the last one I said 3.8 million people did Google search. Now, are you on Google? You need to if you're not. Now, but 87% of customers said consistent branding across all online and traditional platforms was important. So today we see people using the Instagram, for instance. I love Instagram so much. So you see people communicating values through the essence of their brand. So you see Gami, for instance, we're saying that I'm trying to remember that one that we said in this rainy season. I love that word so much. Da, 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 da. I will find it. Please give me 30 seconds. Okay, invest for the rainy day. So when the rainy season now, and we are saying the design is, I don't know if anybody can see or no, it's going to be hard for us to see. But the design says save for the rainy day, but we are saying invest for the rainy day. Now, what is the essence of communicating all these things online? It is for people to understand that this is a brand that wants to help you. Remember, customer satisfaction. So we understand that people save for the rainy day, but the world has gone beyond saving. The world has gone beyond saving. So even if you have that 5,000 naira in your account and you are locking it down, It is so painful. The bank is they're extorting today. That's why the likes of the Kuda Bank, the Palmpay, and the rest of them are coming into existence. And they're telling you they are doing free transaction. Are they really doing free transaction? No, but they are giving you customer satisfaction. I'm not advertising for them, but I'm telling you what it is. They are giving you customer satisfaction because you want to do. I was watching a very funny video about MC Lively, and he wanted to do a transaction, and he was saying that 15 naira had been deducted, and he had 3,550 naira. So they deducted 15 naira, so it was left with 3,000. You know the math. So he was angry that he could not longer do his transaction. So what am I saying here? Communicate what you want people to know about your brand. Invest for the rainy day. People are saving. Oh, you go and buy rice, you go and buy this thing. What if rats should come and eat the rice you bought in your house? But if you have invested and you are harvesting at the right time, think about it. So those are some things that we had to come up as a brand beyond the content that we have. We now had to look for a way. That is where what people call branding today had to come. We now had to look for a way, which was designing the design, bringing out a very beautiful design. You can go to our Instagram page, you see some amazing designs that are communicating the value we want to give onto people. So how do you get a strong online presence if these things are not in place? How do you get a strong online presence when 87% of all your customers have or transact business with you through the media space? You want to sell land. We're in a world today where a whole lot of people have been scammed. Even I personally have been scammed from some other real estate companies. But today there are some real estate companies that are doing excellently well, of which we are one. And we are young. We need to see all our members of staff, guys. We are young guys who are intentional about ensuring that young people and people, I use the word young people and people, want to live their dream in financial freedom. And we are here to say you can live your dream in financial freedom. How? Invest in real estate. One of the important things you can do is invest in real estate. How can you invest in real estate? If you have some money in your account, don't put it in your account. Leave the space of just putting money in your account and start investing them in things that can help you. One of them is real estate. Real estate appreciates every day. And so if you invest in real estate, you have this money, you have bought land, you've done this, you can buy more. And when you need the money, sell it and you get money. But do business with good people. That is where branding comes in. That is where branding comes in. And we, as a brand, we said online, we will show and we deliver excellence. If you look at Redeem is another excellent organization, Christian organization that is sharing their values online. So after every message of Pastor Adeboye, they share some nugget points that people can reminisce over, and you have to ponder upon them. These are some things that have to come in place. You cannot be seen. You have a vision, right? It's a mental picture. But for you to be seen, you have to bring it out. That is where branding comes in. You have to bring that thing out from you and show it online, because 87% of people that want to either come to your church, either want to do business with you, either want to know you, either want to be friends with you, even friendship, they are online. I've never seen Pastor Tunji. Do I amaze you? But this man, I respect him so much. And we met over, our relationship didn't even start well. But I had to sell myself. I had to make sure that I don't lose value of this great man in my life. I'm telling you, I was so concerned about it. And I had to, it's not a story to share. It's for me and Pastor Tunji. That's if Pastor Tunji remembers the story. So this means that customers expect that your tone of voice is the same over emails, your website, your customer services, and every other aspect of your business. What is the voice today on and this is not a master class, but maybe some other time I believe Pastor Tunji will have a master class where we will explain some elements and we'll break them down one by one. Now, on website, you are saying A. On Instagram, you are saying B. On the other platform, you are saying D. And it's the same person. How are you now communicating? And you are giving people different narrative about you. You know, it's appalling in this our time that people are not using the same voice. So are you pretending? People now have different perception about you as a brand. And remember that I said at the beginning, it is a strong and eternal perception people have about you. So if you're saying A and we're saying B here, how do you want people to know that it's the same thing you are doing? How do you want people to know that you are not a scam? So importantly, understand that use the same voice when communicating whatever you are doing. Use the same voice when communicating whatever you're doing. The first and most essential step in boosting your brand's digital presence is creating a professional, user-friendly website. Your website is an incredible asset that allows consumers to find you, and hopefully it inspires them to convert into um, doing business with you. A clean, modern design can visually connect with consumers by exemplifying your personality and brand voice. Moreover, a site that is intentionally designed for an enhanced user experience can make a powerful first impression on consumers. So, whatever you are doing, whatever business you're doing here today, whatever business it is that you're doing today, can your consumers easily have a grasp of you and even speak for you? I am one very good person with referrals. So the person that does my shoes for me, anytime she does a shoe, I'm wearing it. And once I know people will ask her, who did this for you? I could decide to be mute, but at the same time, I said no. Anywhere I go, I would always tell the brand of this place. And that's how it is. So how do I get customers in the real estate I am? I'm online. You can check me online, OLAMIDE Black. You see me on Instagram, and you know you will see that I'm trying to communicate the things I do, real estate, public speaking, and book and whatever it is that I do. These are some important things that now have to come to place intentionally. I'm telling you, you need to be intentional about it. Intentionality is in simplicity also. Don't make things complex. See wireless design. They are trying to tell you that they want to raise young leaders. I think I can't even remember them. So there's a whole lot that I would have loved to share, but I don't know how many minutes I have left so that I can even touch some things about some other things that I would like to share. But okay, so let me just, because I have another meeting for 8:30 and this is 8:15, I need to prepare. So let me just say some things and round up. When you look at logo creation, is your logo creation in sync with your brand? Are you just creating a logo because you want to create a logo? I have a personal logo. My tagline is made for more. I have a personal logo I created. It is zero, but it is not zero as zero. I can't even illustrate it, but I created lines with it, and you know how to illustrate it. If you ask me for the meaning, I will tell you the meaning of my logo. Not on this place. Maybe some other in some other spaces. And if you need to be able to interpret. Now, if you look at the shirt I'm wearing, G-Vest. This is the logo. This is the logo, right? It's a trademark logo. Now, if you see this arrow going up, what do we mean? Invest so that you can harvest. So when you invest, we're not saying that your money is coming down. We're saying that whatever time you invest, you are going up. You are elevated to another level. So invest so you can harvest means that if you are saving, you cannot harvest because you are accumulating what you have. And how do you cannot multiply what you have if you don't put it to work. So in GBS, we're saying make your money work for you, for instance. And for those who are willing to invest, you can reach out to me later. Let's see how you can become part of our investment plan and do some great stuff with your money rather than just putting it. See, Nigeria is in a harsh economy where it is not about putting money in your what's it called, in your account. It is beyond that. It is beyond just putting money in your account and putting it to work. So when it's a season where we need to harvest, not save. If you're just saving, is just putting what you already have together. But when you're saying invest, you are saying, oh, what I have, I want to multiply it and get more from it. I don't know if you're with me, guys. So, these are some things that are not important when it now comes to your brand. What kind of color are you using? You are saying you want people like Grammy Properties now. Gold is a very, gold is a very unique color. White is a very unique color. Black also is a very unique color. Simplicity. Don't make things complex for people. If I want to come to your website, can I easily be able to detect what you are doing? Those are the things that are branded, the perception I have about you. So even when you are not online, people go online to check about you. Oh, I'm checking Philip Akim Bemisola. And what are the things I can see about him? Can I in 30 seconds be able to talk about what he's doing? So if you go to our website as a company, Garment Properties, can you be able in 30 seconds to say, oh, these guys are not a design agency, they're a real estate agency, but they're using this to communicate the value of what they are doing. Those are the things that are called branding. The perception I can smell about you even in your absence. That is branding in a nutshell. And just for a recap sake, um, I talk about the importance of branding. It increases your value in the marketplace. It generates new customers. It creates trust in the marketplace. It improves employee pride. So you cannot have pride in whatever you are doing if you yourself know that you are not communicating well. If in terms of design now, in terms of your website, in terms of your email marketing, in terms of your media space publicity, if you're not, you cannot be satisfied because you have to deliver it in an excellent manner, doing the ordinary thing in an extraordinary way. The next one is branding in the marketplace. Elements that are important: your logo, your design, your branding, your color, your mission statement, your market communication. And that will take me to branding. Branding, please remember, is the process of creating a strong eternal. Do you know what eternal is? The way we as Christians believe that we have eternal life, that is the way branding is. So we still speak about the Lord Jesus Christ today because we know that He is the way, the truth, and the life. And nobody can come unto the Father except through Him. That is branding. So the devil, we know that he has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. That is his brand. So what perception do people have about you as an individual? Now, should I amaze you? I'll say something about personal branding here before I wrap up. Personal branding. How do you communicate online? So if you want to, some people do YouTube live, yes, Instagram live, and all sort of things. When you come, how do you present yourself? I remember a day we were having a meeting in the company, and I think our chief executive officer said he saw one of our staffs going into a shopping mall on a weekend with bomb shorts and a sleeveless shirt. What kind of brand are you promoting? Now, if you're looking at it, individual branding is so very important. What is the individual brand that lady is promoting? Ashewo Lele. You see some people outside, Yahoo boys, the way they dress. How do you dress? How, as an individual, how do you dress? Do you dress the way you want to be addressed, or you are dressing the way for me, I can dress anyhow? That is branding. What? So the elements are some things that have not really elaborated, but some of the elements are like what I've shared. Your website as a company, your website, your logo, your designs, how you communicate. Those are some things. But for an individual brand, how do you dress? Do you just today? For me, for instance, for me in my church, when I go to church, they know that this man is always on white. White, a touch of white has to be in whatever I'm doing. I'm using a white here, please. A touch of white has to be in whatever I'm doing. The white is on my clothes. A touch of white background. So don't worry, that's just the gist. That's just on a lighter mood. But I have my colors that I use. If you go to my Instagram page, some important colors are there. You can't just use every color. So what are the colors you are using that people can use to portray you? And how can people perceive you? Branding is the odor I have about you when you are not there. Branding is the odor I have about you when you are not there. So what kind of odor do you give to your consumers? What kind of odor do you give to your clients? Whatever industry you are, what kind of odor? Even if you are not choosing color, do you dress corporately well? If you look at the politicians today, we can say that like a uniform dressing for them is what's it called, senator, most of them are putting senator. Maybe that's even why they gave it senator, because I don't think that's the name. You know, most of them are putting on senator. So how can I perceive you? How can I perceive you as an individual? How can I say that this is who this is in 1, 2, 3 sentences? That is what branding is. That is what branding is. And like I said, please take notes, and always from today understand that transactions will always take place. Transactions will always take place. When I mean transactions, not only money. For you to be brought on as a speaker, for you to be brought on the platform to speak, it is branding. Everybody is speaking, but what you are speaking differs, and how you've been able to quantify it into 1, 2, 3 sentences is what is important. So branding is a process of creating a strong eternal perception about you as a person, about your organization, about your product in the minds of people. So if you want to be in the minds of people, it is important that branding is in place. And with this, I will want to say a very big thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to the organizers. Thank you to Pastor Tunji, most especially, for bringing me on board to come and talk about branding. I see it in today's world that branding is something that we hold so key, most especially for me as an individual. How do I perceive you when you are not there? And so thank you very much. I'm so grateful for this privilege. I don't take it for granted. God bless you. So at this stage, if you have questions for me as regards to branding, anyhow, generally, yes, branding is the order I have about you, even when you are not there. Yes, so if you have any question about branding, please kindly ask your questions at this stage. I have a few minutes left. And whatever you've learned, just share with us in the comment section, please. Whatever you've learned so far from this class. Okay, I have a question here. Okay, Adenike Astro, when you're talking about a starter, as an are you talking about a business or as an individual? Adenike Astro, please, are you with us? Yes, thank you, Eritayo. Thank you, Iola. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, guys. Sorry?
Yes, as a business person, sir.
Okay, as a business person, will I advise you? What do you do?
I'm a chef.
You're a chef. Will I advise you?
Yes.
Yes, I would advise you. And you know, when I say I would advise you, you might be looking at the money. You might be looking at the money that you would need to use to start. But there are some free websites that you can just make do of, because people need to, like now, the way you're a chef. I think some few days ago I posted on my status that I'm tired of eating bachelor food. And you know, if you have been on my face on the media, I might have just been able to go to your website, order food, you know, you make things seamless for people. You now have to make things seamless for people. So one of the essential things the website does for you is they don't have to call you at all times. Hello, Mofera Kinikon. Hello, Mofera Kinikon. No, they can just easily pick their phones and just do whatever transactions with you. So I would advise you that you can take Wix, for instance. Wix is something very good that you can use for a starter at this stage. So if you can make use of Wix, you can definitely do well to start a website, and you know, you do excellently well. So I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. All right, great. So yes, please just try and start somewhere. Try and start somewhere. Thank you for your time and wisdom nuggets. What do you do when the team you build for your brand is not functioning and supportive? What do you build? Or what do you do when the team you build? When you mean team, sorry, I don't know if you can unmute your mic. Yes, I can see you in my front. So I don't know if you can unmute your mic and just probably explain your question. I would like to understand your question so that I don't just give you an answer from any point of view.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, so I have a food blog. I have a brand. So I created a team of 5 people to help with the branding and posting of different things on the blog. So far, so good. It's been about 2 weeks now, and the team is not, we're not really functioning. I'm still the one doing majority of the work that needs to be done. So what do I do in a situation like that?
All right, great. So were you in the last class?
Unfortunately, I was not.
I guess that is why you have this question. When you look at a question like this, I believe I'll be able to share a little about it because I have experience about it. It comes to the place of vision casting. Vision casting. Have you shared the vision with these people? Have you been able to tell them about what this is? And when I talk about vision, I say it is looking at the ending from the beginning. So vision is about looking at the ending from the beginning. So have you taken your people to the end of the journey and brought them back to the beginning? So if these people understand that, oh, if I don't do this thing, I am to be blamed, not because I am the owner. For instance, I don't know if you get my illustration. Now, you are my boss, for instance, and so you give me a job to do. Even if you are not paying me, the only reason why I will do it and do it excellently well, it's not because of branding. This is not even where branding comes in. It's a problem of vision casting. Do I understand the communication? Do I understand the detriment as to what this will cost if I don't do it? And if I leave all the burden on only Ruth to do I understand the detriment of that issue? So vision casting, if you've casted the vision, look at it that from time in, time out. Because the only reason my boss will always say that he can give you money, but what he cannot give you is time, because if you eat his time, he will never come back and give you time. So if these people have decided to give you their time and say, oh, I want to be a part of what you're doing, Ruth, I will help you in blogging, I'll help you in doing this. Do they understand that this thing is detrimental to your business? If they don't do this, they are not going to get this and this and that. So understand that for you to communicate well with these guys, you will now have to cast the vision against them. And now, if you've casted it to them and they don't understand it, now you can now use branding here. How? Maybe go and meet a graphic designer, your content, put it into pictorial communications, bring it back to these people. Now show them that, in for instance, who would have ever thought that Dubai, I love using Dubai as an example, would ever be a great place today? But the Rashid Al Maktoum, the Prince of Dubai today, and the Prime Minister of Dubai, the Prince of Dubai, yes, the Prince of Dubai today said that his father decided not to do any selling. There was a very large harbor. If you've never read Vision, My Race to Excellence, that is a book that you need to read. Very important. I recommend it when it comes to vision. He read that book and I read the book and it was saying that, sorry, my phone is distracting me. It was saying that vision was so very important for him at that point because his father could see far than what and where they were. So what you need in your business now is vision. So if you've used A to communicate, use B to communicate, and that's where leadership comes in, which you are. And like Reverend Samademi will say, leadership is moving people from point A to point B. So if you want to move people from point A to point B, use some of the elements of leadership, and one of them is vision casting. And how can you bring in branding into this? If you need to use pictorial events to analyze how this food blog can become from a very low food blog to an international food blog, and for you to be on a global scale, you need to now use your what's it called? The use of pictorial designs to explain your vision. I believe I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
All right, so you're welcome. So any other question? My time is almost Any other question? You can just unmute your mic and ask a question if you have. Okay, in the absence of no other question, I hand over to our moderator. Thank you so much, Pastor Tunji. Thank you so much, Young Leaders Academy Executive. I am indeed grateful for this opportunity and privilege to speak to great minds like myself as regards to branding and the essentiality of branding in our today's world. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. OLAMIDE, thank you for this wonderful session. Greatly blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you once again. I'll hand over to Mr. Oladipo right away. I hope he's on the platform now. I think he has some challenges with his. Okay. Is Mr. Murakinyo here? Okay. Anyway, tomorrow
Yes,
we'll be having a
hello, sir.
fantastic. Okay, sir. I was thinking Mr. Oladipo is there. I think he was logged out.
Yes, I think he's having some issues with network.
Okay, tomorrow
He's
it's
trying
going
to
to be
join
okay. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome time. We'll be having a pastor, a friend, Barrister Toby Adelusi will be facilitating all the way from Canada tomorrow. His time is different from our time. I mean, the time there's a time difference of some hours. So in Canada, he will be in church at the time. So that's why we moved his session to 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. same time tomorrow. It will be around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock over there. So please join in. We'll send the same link that we are using is the same link that we'll be using all through the sessions. So tomorrow we're having Barrister Toby Adelusi. It's a session that you must never miss. You must never miss that session with Barrister Toby. It's an awesome speaker. Awesome speaker tomorrow. Going to be wonderful. Thank you once again, Mr. Olamide Peters. Please check in with Mr. Olamide Peters. They are accompanying Jamin Properties. They have some wonderful properties that you can leverage on. I mean, it's youth friendly. I mean, I've been trying to get to know about them. When I got to know a few things about them, I mean, fantastic properties they have, some part of Ogun State, and it's very, very cheap. I think there is one you can get for a down payment of 80,000. There's another one for 150. I don't know whether it has moved from that price now, but sir, you still have those properties, Mr. Olamide? Do you still have those properties? Okay. Oh,
We
can't
have,
hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we have properties in Alakoti Ato, Ogun State. It's going for 250,000 naira for half plot and 500,000
Yes,
naira
we can
for
hear
a full.
you. Please go on, sir.
And we also have in Ode Juroko, Yewa South. It's going for 150,000 naira for a half plot and 300,000 naira for full plot. And those are some of the packages we have. And for those who are willing to invest, because I was talking about investment.
Okay. 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 So they have some land properties somewhere in Ogun State. I mean, the environment of Lagos State. Ogun State enters into Lagos State. So wonderful properties, and it's very cheap. that we can invest in now. Some time ago, somewhere around Magboro, they were offering land for 180,000. That was many years ago. But now, to get a land in that place, to get half plots, you need about 2 million, 2 point something million. They offered one for me for 6 million. I mean, so this is the time to invest low range landed properties, get them now. With time, just a short period of time, you see the result of your investment. So they also have some other investors. Just reach out to Mr. Enola Peters. You get more information on that from him. Thank you once again for joining in. Tomorrow will be another great time. Once again, I appreciate those who are in with us. Olumide, Tomide Fakwa, thank you for joining in. That's our Director of Finance. Okay, Adebusola is always here. Adebusola Daud, thank you. Our speaker for one of the sessions, I think that should be next week's session, Pastor Taiwo from all the way from Paris. Thank you for joining. Thank you, sir.
God bless
Pastor
you,
Taiwo, thank you, sir. Adenike Astrop, thank you. Pastor Bayo, the ambassador, thank you for joining in. Pastor Ayola Ogunsojo, thank you for having you. Pastor Emmanuel, thank you. We also have one of our fantastic speakers that you must not miss his session. I think he's going to be doing the last session with us. Mr. Yitayo. I mean, I met him. I went to get a phone somewhere and I met him. He just came into that place and just to greet somebody there. And then we started talking. It blew up my mind. And I just had to link up with him immediately. He's going to be sharing some great ideas with us. You must not miss the last session of this roadmap to leadership, to great leadership. Mr. Yotayo, thank you for joining in. Dr. Mbayi, thank you, Mbawi. Bafem Folorenshaw, thank you. Olamide Fadimi, thank you. Sorry if I didn't get that correctly. I think that should be the brother to Mr. Eniola. Thank you. Mr. Phillips Adegbemisola, thank you. Ruth Olatunde, thank you for joining in. We appreciate everyone. I hope I didn't miss somebody out in my calling. Okay. We also appreciate all our team members who are running this program. We are the one working underneath the background of this program. You have been wonderful. Thank you, Theodorani Obichetson, Oladipo Fatukasi, Mr. Moraki, wonderful work you are doing. Thank you, Pastor Bayo, Tomide Fakwa. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel, Pastor Gabriel, and Pastor Moluabi. Thank you all. They have been the one working in the background to ensure that we have a great time for the Young Leaders Academy. So please, tomorrow we'll be having another session, 7 p.m. Please don't miss out that session. Don't miss out that session. It's going to be powerful. We're talking about team